Hi everyone, sorry it took me so long. I was sending out the link to my family, wrapping up some conversation with my family. We have so much going on, but I wanted to get on live today and do a perfume bottle. I wanted to take a break from the rigging and the character design because that was just a little too overwhelming for what's going on in my life. So I'm going to do what I love the most, and that is perfume modeling. That's my favorite. So, oh, you know what? Let me actually grab the actual perfume. That way I can look at it in the flesh as well. Give me 1 second. In the flesh. Okay. Okay. So we're going to do Ariana Grande's Cloud perfume. I didn't realize that I never did this one, and this is one of my favorites, and I think in honor of Wicked, because I recently watched Wicked and it was the best decision I could have made. It's such a good film. I can't believe I waited so long to watch it. It was so wonderful. I can't wait for the new one to come out. So I figure in honor of Ariana Grande, we'll model this perfume. So I have the actual bottle in front of me, so I'll use that for reference as well as the pictures that I downloaded from the internet. So let me put it here. Okay. I have done Ariana Grande's Thank You Next. That was one of my first perfumes that I ever modeled. So we'll do this one. And then I figured we could do a cute little fluid simulation too. That could be fun. And then I have some more references over here. She also has a blue one. I don't know what this one is called, but I figure we can do two versions, a blue and a pink one. And that could be really fun. And then this is what the perfume looks like broken up, like deconstructed. Oh, do I not have the top? Oh well, we have the reference for the top, so that's okay. Okay. So let's do it. I just wanted to get back into modeling. Took last week off. I was just really, really tired. So figured this would be a good way to just kind of get back into it. Just gonna make this a little bit smaller, and then we could get into it. So I hope everyone's doing well. It's been raining a lot in LA, so just taking advantage of like the cloudy weather. I love it so much. It reminds me of like being back home. You know what, before we get into it, I'm gonna put on my screencast keys just in case you want to follow along. So you'll see what I'm doing in the left hand corner right there, and we'll get started. So I think I'm gonna start with we'll start with a cube. I think it always helps to start with a cube and then just subdivide it. So let's do that. We'll start with a cube. I'm gonna scale it down a bunch to like there, and then we'll add a subdivision modifier to get the circle, a nice even circle, and then I'll squeeze it on the Y. I probably should use a cylinder, but we'll see. Let's just see what this looks like. Because what I also could do is add a loop cut here, and that'll kind of give us the shape that we want a little bit better. I think that looks good. Let's see. Yeah, let me look. Actually, we'll add a few more. I'll add one here and one here, and that works better. Yeah. Should I add one more? Let me see. That might be even better. I think that's perfect. Just take the bottle out and see. Okay, cool. So I think we'll rock out with that for now. Going back into X-ray mode, and I'll take the whole thing, scale it down a little bit. Okay, cool. I think that looks pretty good. And then if you look down here, we'll have a side view of everything I'm doing right there. Yeah, perfect. Let me see. Just gonna pull it over just a little. Okay, perfect. And then we'll move on to let's add I'm gonna add a solidify modifier so that the inside has some thickness. You can kind of see like there's two layers now. So if I go in 0.2, let me see. Let's see if I do 0.03. I'm gonna go 0.025. I think that's good for a thickness for it, and that'll just give the glass some thickness so that it looks like glass when we put the shader on there. So that's kind of how it looks. Okay, cool. That's the basic bottle. So I'm gonna save it. Oh my gosh. All right, cool. So I'm saving that, and then all right, I think that's cool. And then let's start working on this portion of the bottle. So let's do With this, I'm gonna use a cylinder. I think it's okay to use a cylinder for this piece. So I'm adding a cylinder, jumping into edit mode. I'm gonna scale it down. I'm gonna grab on the X, pull it over, just pull it up, and then scale on the Z, pull it down. On this model here, there's a bit of a, well, I guess on the actual bottle I can see that too, so we'll do it. So I'm gonna do this. Let me go into X-ray mode here. Let's scale on the Z one more time. Pull it down. Same. Like that. You'll notice like right here there's some more geometry, so we'll add that as well. But for now, let's just scale it so it fits a little bit better right there. Let's make it a little bit wider. Looking at the side, fits pretty good, so we'll leave it like that. So if we look at this geometry, the extrusion, like, so this piece right here is coming from this bottle. So I have one of two options. I could either create that using this geometry and then join it. I think I'm gonna do that because I don't, let me see. How do I want to manipulate this? Let me shade smooth so that it's nice and smooth for us. I'll worry about this portion in a little bit. I have to decide how I want to go about that. For now, let's just do this part. So we have this piece, and as I'm looking on the geometry, let me jump into edit mode for this piece here. And what I'm gonna do is face select. So I'm gonna press 3. I'll click the top of that piece. Okay, so I think what we need to do for this is I'm going to E on the Z, right? So I'm going to pull it up, maybe this much, like this much, and then I'm going to scale it in because that's what I'm seeing on this bottle, like that. And then I'm going to control B because it has a bit of like a curve right there. Yeah, like that. My best friend's texting me about Animal Crossing right now. She's saying one of her villagers pissed off another one. So funny. All right, so I'm just gonna extrude. We just recently found out that there's going to be an Animal Crossing update. So she dropped off like $1.4 million on my village this morning. So funny. All right, we're just going to E on the Z for that. Leave it the same width right there. And then what are we going to do? Let me E on the Z again. And then, all right, I'm gonna do this. Wait, E on the Z, pull it up. And then I think what I need to do is add a loop cut here. But I'm just gonna grab it on the Z, pull it down, and it's probably like that. And then what I'll do with the face selected, I'm gonna select this, and I'm gonna Alt E along the normals and go inward, because that's what I'm seeing. That's kind of happening. And then edge select, I'm gonna select all the edges, these two edges, and then I'll bevel them. All right, this is what I'm gonna have to do. Before I do that, let me undo real quick. Let's get rid of that. I gotta bevel it now. I realize that's kind of, yeah, I have to undo. Let's go again. Sometimes bevel just doesn't work like how you need it, so I'm gonna redo it. So I'll do it now, and then I'll bevel now. See, now it'll give me that little curve. And then I'll have to just do the same thing here. I don't know why that happens with beveling, but whatever. And then what I'll do is I'll add my loop cut here. I just want to take a moment and like acknowledge that a year ago, 2 years ago, it would have taken me weeks to do a perfume. Like weeks. So the fact that my brain can even do this is like, it still blows my mind. But I love it. So essentially, this is my favorite kind of modeling. If I could work for a luxury perfume brand and do this for them for like commercials, it would be a dream, a literal dream. So that's the ultimate goal when it's all said and done. All right, so that's good. And then there's another bevel up here. So let's go ahead and do that. Same situation. Little something like that. Beautiful. And then what I'm seeing happening is we're gonna hit 3. We're gonna inset. So we're coming in. Good amount, maybe like that. And then let's go into X-ray mode. And I'm gonna E on the Z, and we're gonna come down. So it's kind of like sitting in there. Let's see. That looks like. Cool. And then I'll inset just the smallest amount, like that. And then we'll E and pull it up, and that's gonna be where the spray comes in. Looking at this, it's about the same size as the others. So I think maybe I'll just pull it up just a bit more. Like that. You know what, hold on. Let's pull it up all the way right here. And then I got a bevel anyway, so that'll pull some height away. And that's pretty beveled like that. And then that's where it ends, and I think this is more just like the top, because I'm looking at the bottle and this is it. This is where it ends right here. So So there goes that piece. Okay. And then what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna E on the Z. We're gonna pull it down into the bottle, but then I'm just gonna scale it. And we'll pull it out like that. And then I'll bevel it. And then I'll pull it down even further. Actually, hold on, undo. Just pull it down some more. And then we'll scale. Do that and then scale it out. We can always make the bottle a little bit bigger. Then we'll bevel it so it's a little bit more rounded. I just think that makes more sense than trying to do anything else. And then let me grab on the Z and we'll just put it in location like that. And that still gives same thing. I think I need to add something. Let's see if okay, I subdivided it one more time so it's much smoother. There we go. That's much better. Cool. Let's save it. Let me shade smooth that part. Okay. I like the way that looks. Gonna pull it up just a little more. Okay. Next things next. We could let's do the base. So for now, we'll hide this part and we'll focus on this. And looking at it, I just think if I use a bunch of spheres and then flatten them where I need to, that's my best bet. I'm just gonna use a bunch of UV spheres. Maybe I should do a cube but subdivided. I think that's my best bet. I'll have a little bit more control that way. We'll try. If we need to try a couple, we will. But I feel like this is my best bet because I can Boolean and it'll just cut it so that it's just the shape that I need. So I'm gonna go to subdivision. Oh, we also can do the straw, but we'll do that later. So I'll subdivide that. Let's do 4 like we did before. Let's scale it up a bunch. And I think that's literally all we're gonna have to do. So let's scale on the X. Actually scale it up like that, and then grab on the Z, put it there, and before we squish it, let's just do it like this for now. So I'm going to Shift D, just duplicate it, grab on the X, grab on the Z, tap into edit mode, let me scale it down a bunch. Grab on the Z. Let's go into X-ray mode. out. Duplicate that one, grab on the Z here, tab into edit mode, let's scale that. Well, we want to leave it big, but we'll grab this piece and pull it up. Like that. Let's do one here. So Shift D. I'm gonna grab on the Z, pull that down. Like that. Tab in. Scale. Little something like that. Tab out. Shift D. Okay. Just pull it up just a bit. A little dimension. Then what we'll do is we'll just mirror this. So we'll mirror it. Maybe not that. Maybe we'll mirror it. Get this back. Let's mirror it here. Nope. Let's mirror. Nope. Okay, maybe mirror won't work. So we'll duplicate. I should be doing Alt-D, but we can link the materials, that's no big deal. So I'm just grabbing it on the X. I don't know why it's not the same size on the photo, but I'm just gonna rock with leaving it exactly that. So I'm just gonna do that. Shift D, grab on the X. Just get it where it looks good. Then here, Shift D, grab on the X. And we'll do like that. And then we can manipulate the base of the circles when we need to. But for now, that's kind of the basis. And then what we can do now is I'm gonna take all my circles. I'm gonna go to the side view. I'm gonna scale on the Y. Let me do it in edit mode though. Select everything, scale on the Y. So I'm gonna flatten it out a good amount. And then I'm gonna grab on the Y and pull it forward. Let me see how much of the bottle, yeah. A good amount of the bottle is covered by these clouds. Trying to see the thickness. It's very, very thin. So I think I'm gonna scale on the Y even more. It's very, very thin. So let's grab on the Y again, pull it much closer to the bottle. We'll of course Boolean. Just trying to get it in a good position. I think that works. And then what we'll do is so we'll click this one. Let me get out of X-ray mode really quickly. So I'm gonna click this lower one. So all these lower ones. So this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. we're going to grab on the Y, and that's a little bit on top here. So it's kind of like that. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take the back of this face, the back of this face, so this one and this one. Yeah, I think just these two faces, and then we'll go on the other side. And I'm gonna grab this face and this face. So just the outside faces. And I'm gonna E on the Y and pull them all the way across to the back. And I'll go to maybe like here, like that. And then I'll grab this face and this face. And I'm gonna grab that on the Y as well. Just so we have it's a little bit more even. Like that. Again, I'm on a Boolean, so it'll be fine. Right? And then let's tab out really quickly. That looks really good. Okay. And then what I'll do is now we can mirror. So this one and this one. Maybe even this one. And these four. So this I'm going to mirror. So let me go to my modifier. And let's hope that this mirror works. It could be the origin. That's just not. Okay, so we're just going to mirror on the Y. That's perfect. Same here. So let's mirror on the Y here. Let's check that out. Perfect. This one we're going to mirror as well. I could link the modifiers, I know, but it's okay. I don't mind doing it this way. Mirror here, here, on the Y. Okay, cool. All right, now it's just a matter of kind of putting it all together. And then I think what we can do is this one. I'm gonna tab into edit mode and we'll just put a loop cut there so it flattens it out. So loop cut, grab on the Y and pull it so it's about the same. Same for this one. This is where it might be a little bit irregular, but I'm comfortable with that because this is for fun. So I'm not gonna get too caught up in that as long as and we're not gonna see the back of this model anyway, so it's fine. As long as it looks even enough, I'm cool. So I'm just gonna add another loop cut for this one as well. So pulling it, kind of just eyeballing. Do that. Same on this side. Loop cut. Grab on the Y, let's just pull it out. Okay. So we're getting that like cloud, and then I'll have to add a loop cut to the base of both sides to make it flat, and then we'll join it, and then I'll Boolean so that the inside of the balls are flat. or inside of the bottle, the clouds that's holding the bottle is flat, so it holds the bottle perfectly. But for the shape, essentially that's what it looks like, and I'm gonna join it so that it all looks like one piece, because that's how the bottle looks as I'm looking at it. I also think what I can do to support this even more. Okay, so why don't we make this flat first? We'll start there. So why don't I just select all the base pieces for now? Okay, cool, because those are mirrored, so we're good there. I'm gonna tab into edit mode and we'll do loop cuts for all of them. So let's start with the big one. We'll do a loop cut there. But I'm gonna grab on the Z. And you know what? It's not really... I don't love that, because that's not quite the vibes. Let me look. I could do this and get away with this, but I don't know if I love that, because it changes it from circle to something else. So let me see how else I could get away with this. I could apply the subdivision and then do it. That might be what I need to do. Well, let's try. I'll save it really quickly. That way if we have to go back, we can. So let me save it and then we'll do that and see. So if I take this, apply the subdivision, tab into edit mode, do this, go into proportional editing, maybe go into X-ray mode, grab this piece, grab on the Z, maybe on the Z is what we want. No, maybe the Y. It's not working. All right, I'll just do it myself manually. So let me turn this on, grab on the Z. So I could do it this way. This feels, I guess, makes a little bit more sense. A little bit more manual, but I think I can get the desired effects. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's cool. Because once we join it, it should be fine. So we'll do that. I'm winging it. I'm winging it. Okay. Okay, so that's that. And then, yeah, because it keeps the circle up here without morphing it too much like it did before. So I feel comfortable with that. And then I'll just do the same with these two. And then let me just look in the mirror. Yeah, I feel good about that. I feel fine with that. Okay, so let me go here. Gotta apply the subdivision again. So I have to do the same for this one. Apply. So I'm gonna click these two, and I'm gonna tab into edit mode. We'll do the same, go into X-ray mode. I'm gonna grab one, maybe two, same here, you, and you. down, flatten you out a bit. See. That might not be the one I want. Okay. This is a little bit more manual, but I don't mind. Let me just go ahead and grab the full corners here. This one. Okay, cool. All right, grab on the Z for that. Off, I'll click this, click this, click this one. Now I'm just kind of like slowly trying to get it to work. Maybe not do that. All right, I'm gonna work on it individually now. Try to get it where I need it. I'm gonna leave that one there because I'll also work on that other circle. Okay, I think that works for now. Let's pull you down. We are going to combine, so it won't be such a hard okay, let's just pull these down. All right, I like it. Let's pull that down. Okay, I think that's cool. Let's save it where we are. Tap on out. Ooh. Little JC. It's so funny. All right, now let's do these. So I'm gonna just shift click both of them. Oh wait, let's go ahead and apply that subdivision for those as well. Are these not mirrored? Oh no, it's not because it's I just extruded it. So let me apply. Also apply. Shift click both. Let's get back into it. Tab into edit mode. As long as we're in X-ray mode, we're good. have that for this, so let's just go ahead and do it individually now. Just pull it down. Okay. Same for this. Cool. And then maybe this one will do the same. Grab on the X. Same here, grab on the X. I know it looks kind of crazy, but once we join it, it won't look crazy. Let me just check the back. X-ray mode. Let me shade smooth everything. You know what I also could do? Let me see something. Let me tab into edit mode. Which one's not subdivided yet? I want to see something. This one's not subdivided. Okay, I wonder if, let me see, Shift D, grab on the X. Let's just pull this over. Right, I'm gonna tab into edit mode. I'm gonna select this base face. And I'm going to SZ0. You got a proportional SZ. We don't want that. Just kidding. Flattens on the Y, but we don't want that either. Does that flatten it? No. Okay, I thought I could just flatten it on its own, but it's not looking like it. But what I could also do, for instance, we'll use this as an example. Oh wait, just kidding, not Shift-D. We'll take this. I'm trying to figure out how I can make this look the best I could. So let's say I take a cube, grab on the X, tab, scale it down, grab, right, do this. So we have this, and tab up out of here, grab the cutter, shift that, shift Control B, difference, quick. Let's scale on the Y some more. Control A, apply the scale, do it again, Shift Control B, difference, boom. We could just do that. Okay, cool. So that's what we'll do. Make that look better at the bottom, so I won't trip off that too much. So we'll just cut off all of that. We just want all of it to intersect with one another. So let me tab in here and fix this a bit more. Looks kind of crazy. Go Going back into proportional editing, grab, do something like that. Tab on out. Shade smooth, shade smooth, shade smooth, shade smooth everything. Shade smooth, shade smooth. All right, cool. Maybe I can fix this one as well. Jumping into X-ray mode one more time. Grab on the X. Pull it over. Okay, cool. Now I think the only thing, oh, we gotta also close the base as well. But we can just add a base and just join it, honestly. I think this piece and maybe this one as well. So these two pieces, I want to extrude. That's going to be quite problematic, huh? Alright, can we hide this for 1 second? Looking at this. Let's come off of X-ray mode. And hopefully that'll just give me select the whole thing. We'll scale on the Y. At all. Just needed to touch a little bit better, but I think that sort of filled the gap a bit. I think these we can also bring out a bit more. Maybe like that. I think that works. And then maybe I want to grab on the Y a little more and then grab on the Z to fill that little gap there. I'm gonna undo that actually. Pull it out some, but I'm gonna tab, select it all. I'm gonna just scale it up and then grab on the Z and pull it down. And then maybe we'll pull it back in. is behind. Not too much, but it is behind. Like that. Okay. And now I think it's pretty much placed where it should be. I'm gonna save it there. Okay, so did I save it? I saved it. And then now I think what we can do is I'm gonna duplicate everything. So I'm gonna just select everything. Let me just flip around and make sure I have everything selected. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Shift D the entire thing and put it in a new collection, and we'll do clouds. Clouds duplicate, just in case I need to go back and redo anything. And now we'll just start kind of perfecting it where we need to. So this and this need to touch a little bit more. So I think what we can do with that is I'm gonna jump into edit mode. I'm gonna select everything and I'm gonna scale, and I'll grab on the Z and pull it up and see if that helps. I will bring it in a little bit more. Just check and see. Just want to make sure everything is touching. Like you can kind of see this is not quite touching. Let me look at the other side. So that's good. So let me see if I just move it over with that. Or you know what? I can just scale on the X. And then I'll grab on the X a little bit. And I think that'll, yeah. I think that'll do what needs to be done. Perfect. Let me look on the behind. I'm still seeing a little bit of a gap here. So maybe I can let me see what it could be that's causing that. I don't want to manipulate it too much so that it's super uneven. But you know what? Let me just grab on the... You know what I'll do? I'll tab in. I'm going to select... Let me go to 2. I'll select this. And let me grab on the Y. I think that could be what's kind of messing us up a little. Because I did kind of just eyeball it there. Is that good? I think that's good. That side's looking good. Thursday. Oh, I can't even go Wednesday. Okay. We were gonna go shopping today, but it's been raining in LA, so it's kind of ruining everything. Not ruining, it's been great, but nobody wants to like shop in the rain. Okay, I think this looks pretty good for now. We'll shade smooth that, and then, okay, so that looks decent for now, and then here's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna take all of these, let me save it. Save it. Okay, now I'm gonna select, first we have to apply any subdivisions, so I'll apply. All right, I think everything is applied. So now I'm just gonna select my pieces and make sure everything is selected. Here's where we make magic. Okay, so now I'm gonna Control J. Now it's all one mesh, right? Shift A, I'm gonna add a cube. Let's look like this. I'm gonna grab on the Z, pull it over, like that. Let me tab into edit mode. I'm gonna scale it up, make it big. Grab on the Z. All right, so we're just gonna go about there, right? Make sure it's nice and covered. Okay. We can even go up a little bit more. About there, right? I'm gonna tab out. I'm gonna Control A, just apply the scale just in case. Same here, Control A, apply the scale. Select my cutter, select this, Shift Control B, difference, boom. Now we got a flat base. And it's giving what needs to be gave. I love that. Amazing. And then same situation with this. So I'm gonna Control A, apply the scale here, but let me, I'm gonna just apply everything. Solidify, I feel comfortable with it. This is gonna be my cutter. So before I do that, I'm gonna Shift D so that I have duplicate. And you know what, I'm gonna leave it right there. Then I'm gonna select this, Shift Control B, difference. And then grab on the X, do that. Now this is all one piece. We don't want it one piece. Hold on. Let me undo that. Let me grab this on the X. Let's just pull that out right there. Why it's making it a union. That's not what we want. That's kind of weird. Let me see. Oops. Shift Control B. Hold on. Here's what I'm gonna do. Before I do it, oh, hello. here's what I'm gonna do before anything. Let me tab into edit mode here. No, I'm not even gonna do all this, because you know what, that's gonna be way too complicated. So in order to fill the base, I'm literally just gonna make, let me see, hold on, let me see what I can do here. Let me tab in. Let's see what we got here, what we working with. Maybe I didn't, no, everything seems cut. Alright, we're not gonna worry about that right now. Let's figure out why this isn't. Do I have to make it a little bit thicker? Is that what's going on? Because I don't want it to join. I want it to cut. And it could be a couple things why it's not working. And I mean, technically, I don't have to boolean because it still kind of works, but I want to make the inside flat because there should be a bit of a gap here. So let's try one more time. I'm gonna just apply the scale once more. Apply the scale once more, and here's what we'll do. Let me shift D. Just kidding, not that. Let's shift D this. Right, so let me grab that on the X. So, okay, so you see this? We wanna cut all this up, essentially. So I wanna grab this on the X. I wanna kinda get it right there. Make sure it's in the right position. That's about centered. I'm gonna Control A scale. This is my cutter, there's no modifiers. This is the thing I want to cut. Shift Control B. Give me a difference. See, it's like joining it, and I don't know what's up with that. I don't know why that's happening. So that's kind of sending me. Let me see if I try it on here. What if I do exact? What does that do? Nah. I guess we can try a couple and see what happens. I'm trying to think, maybe if I just get another cylinder, it could just be the geometry. Sometimes it doesn't work. Oh, hello. Now we're, not quite. All right, so I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm going to Shift A. Let's do a cylinder. Grab on the X. This is just my practice one over here. So grab on the Z. Tab into edit mode. Rotate on the X. Let me go ahead and scale you down to the size we need. Grab on the X. Let's just go into X-ray mode and try to get it to match up. Let me scale it up. Grab on the... Alright, we'll do something like that. Let me tab one out. Get out of X-ray. Let me actually tab into edit mode again. Scale on the Y. Alright, I'm doing... I'm gonna go right there. Okay. Let's just see if this works. I won't be too crazy about it. And then we'll take this as the cutter, go here, Shift Control V, difference. Now we're talking. See, now it's working. All right, cool. So now we have, if we grab this on the Z, it was cut. That's exactly what we're looking for. Cool. Yeah, sometimes if the Boolean isn't working, it's just the geometry that's kind of like messed up for that. So cool. Now we have what we need. So why don't we put this into our cloud duplicate? We'll grab this on the X and we'll use this as our geometry. Just like that. We can also put this into our duplicate. There we go. So let's just go up here. And now that's how it looks on the actual perfume. It's kind of just sitting in there and it's not all one piece. So I like that much more. I'm really happy about that. I'm glad that worked out. Cool, cool. Okay, let's go ahead and put the hole for that, and then we're gonna need to put a base on the bottom. Let me look at it actually. Oh, all right, there's a lot going on with the base, but we're also not gonna be turning this thing upside down, so I'm not gonna trip off that too much. So I might just add a plane and call it a day, because it's gonna be sitting on something, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's Boolean. First of all, let's put our origin to geometry here. For everything, let's just do origin. Oops. Let's put our cursor to world origin and then origin to geometry. Same here, origin to geometry. So first things first, let's do Shift A. We'll do a cylinder. Rotate on the Y 90, rotate on the X 90. Tab into edit mode, grab on the Z, scale it down a bunch, grab on the X, grab on Z, X again, go to the side, scale on the Y, and then let me scale her down a bunch. Oh, we need to do the lid as well. Forgot about that. So we'll put the nozzle right there. And it's a little bit smaller than that. Pull it up. It's a little bit on the higher side. Maybe it's a little bit smaller. Like that. Once the lid's on, I guess it won't really matter. So we'll leave it like that. Boom. Okay. So let me tab on out. Control A. I'm gonna just apply the scale for that really quickly. Make sure it's completely passing through. Same here, Control A, do the scale, click my cutter, then this, Shift Control B, difference. Oh, you know what? It doesn't go all the way through. What am I doing? Undo that. I don't know what I'm thinking. We'll go to about halfway, because we will put like the straw that goes in there. So let's do it again. Control B, difference, there we go. Messes up the geometry a little bit, but the lid's gonna be on there, so we're fine. And once we add the texture, it won't really matter. Okay, so there you go. Loving it. Now let's join these. Let's not join it just yet, because when we want to do the colors and then we'll join. Last thing that we need to do, let's get our thing back. It's fine. It's a little bit shorter than but we'll add the base. We'll just add something and then join it. As a matter of fact, why don't we do this? Shift A, I'm gonna add a mesh. Let's add a cube, right? We tab into edit mode, scale on the Z. This is us cutting corners, okay? You gotta do what you gotta do. Grab on the X, scale on the X like that. Right? Go like right there. And then go to the side. Scale on the Y. Right? Grab on the Y a little bit. Like that, and then jumping into X-ray mode just to give it that look that we're looking for. We'll take let me see, I'm gonna go into edge select mode. Just turn that off real quick. Basically, we gotta select this edge, and I'm gonna scale. Let me scale on the X. So I'm gonna scale in on the X like that. Right about there, right? This edge. Let me pull it a little bit. Pull you out. Right there. Right? And then this edge. I'm gonna scale on the X as well. And we're gonna go all the way in. So this side is good. I'm gonna leave it so that it's even like that. I think that's fine. And then select these two bottom edges. Do we have both selected? Cool. Let me grab on the Z, pull you all the way up. Okay, that makes sense. And now, if we just select that one edge, we can grab on the X. Grab on the X, sorry. There we go. Right? I think that works. And then with that edge selected and this edge selected, we can Control B and give it the bevel that it needs. Tab out. If we jump out of here, what does that look like? Okay. And then what I'll do is tab all scale. And I'm just looking at my bottom left. Let me see. I think we need to scale on the Y. First things first. Maybe I'm needing to select this edge and this edge, oops, not that edge, and this edge as well, and I'm also needing to bevel that. Okay, maybe not. Maybe what I'll do now is add the full bevel modifier. Also, when I'm looking in the on the perfume, okay, this is what I need. This is exactly what I need. Let's go 0.20, 10. do. Yeah, this is what we need. It's exactly right. And then I'll tab into edit mode a bit, select everything, and I'm gonna scale it just a bit. And then I can join it so it looks like one. It's a little bit bigger than it needs to be, so tab back all, S on the Y, grab on the Y. And then I think once I join it, I could manipulate it a little bit more. Let me see something. I just don't want to go in the editor of the real base and fill it that way, but I guess I could. I could just fill it, and then for now, I'm gonna leave it right like that for now. For now, because I feel like I'm getting a little too invested in the base here. When I literally don't have to, I could just leave it how it is, because it's gonna be sitting, but there is a curve there, so okay, we'll leave it like that for now. I'm not tripping off it too much. If I need to go in and select all those edges and fill it that way, I will. Not ideal though, not ideal. Also, okay, it's not going through, it's just the pink. And then last things last, let me save it here. We just gotta do this part. What's my best bet for this? I think the same thing. I'll just do circle, 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 Boolean the base here, and then flatten it on the Y. And that'll give me what I need. Okay, so let me shift A. Cube. Tab into edit mode. Let me scale. It's so interesting because not last week, but the week before last, when I was doing the rigging and everything and the character design, my frustration level was so high, and I was only able to handle legit 2 hours of doing it, because it just really, everything about it was just not what I wanted. I mean, it worked out, it was great, but I just wasn't having the best time doing it. And now that I'm doing this perfume modeling, it just feels so much more aligned to what I enjoy. I'm just looking at the time, and we started at around 12:40. So we've been going for a cool minute, and it doesn't feel that way. You know, that's how you kind of know that you're like in a flow state, I guess, because it isn't as annoying. Not saying, you know, that I don't enjoy character modeling, but I will say I was very annoyed. I got very annoyed. And it's probably because I can't flow as quickly as I'd like in character modeling, so it makes sense that it would be annoying. So it probably just means that I need to spend more time doing it. But when it comes to like going live, I just rather do this. It's just so fun, and I'm just so excited to get to the texturing part of this, That's why I want to finish this cap so that we can do the texturing portion of it. So it's just interesting that there's just certain areas in Blender that just people identify with better than others. And I know some people only do character modeling and that's their whole jam. And it's like, I want to be good at it. I want to enjoy it. But it just wasn't for me that week. It just really wasn't. And so today, the thought of like doing it, I was like, ugh, I need a break from that. And this is always like my go-to. I love perfume modeling. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. And I haven't purchased a new perfume in a little bit, so when I was looking at my perfumes, I was like, wait a minute, I haven't done Ariana Grande's Cloud yet, so let's do that. So I'm just glad to be, I'm happy to be doing this right now. That's what I'm saying. All right, so I'm gonna just select all these babies, and I'm gonna tap into edit mode, everything selected, scale on the Y so that it covers applicator completely. And you know what? It doesn't matter how like thick it is right now because we're gonna boolean. So let's do that. I'm gonna make this one. If I fix this, grab on the Z, pull it down. X, pull it over, and I'm gonna scale it. It needs to be bigger. Alright, so I think I actually have to make it even bigger. So let me scale ya. I'm gonna grab you on the Z. I think we're kind of running into that same situation. So now I'm going to apply this modifier. I'm going to tab into edit mode again. I'm going to go here and I'm just going to grab maybe like that edge using proportional editing. And I'm going to grab on the Z and just pull it down. We're going to use that Boolean method again, so this doesn't super matter that it looks kind of weird right now. I just want it to be covering the top of the bottle. And then we'll do one more. We'll click maybe this, grab on the Z. Okay, we'll leave that. Let me go here. And we also apply that modifier. Oh my God. I don't understand. There we go. Let's just grab this. Just look at this and see what we got. Okay, I think covering. All right, cool. And then now what we're gonna do, I think this one, it's a bit more like that. All right, and then I'm gonna just make sure the origin is to geometry for all of them. I'm gonna Control A, apply the scale for all of them. And then I'm gonna select all. I'm gonna Shift D. I'm gonna grab on the X, we're just gonna pull it over. And we'll start working with this to do some booleans. So now I'm gonna grab a cube, grab on the Z, and we just want to cut it off about there. But before we do that, let's join it. So applying all the subdivisions, making sure. I'm gonna Control J. Looking at it. Let me grab on the Z just a little bit more. Maybe that much. I'm gonna Control A, apply the scale here. Difference, that's gonna cut it, and then I'm going to Shift Control Cube again. I'm gonna grab on the X, grab on the Z. We can tab into edit mode. I'll scale it down, turning off proportional editing. Let's grab on the Y. Let me jump out. I'm gonna just click these two and isolate it. So we're just working with this for now. Let's go into X-ray mode to see how much we're cutting off. Sure that we're not cutting, well, you know what, rather cut too little off than too much, but we want to get at least up to this. So I think we'll cut that much off, then we'll fill the front and that'll be fine. So tabbing, I want to put the origin to geometry, and then what I want to do is mirror, and I hope this works, but I want to mirror it on the Y, so like that, and then I'm going to apply this mirror, and then I'm going to select the cutter, select this, Shift Control B, difference. I don't love that. I don't love that. So let's see how we can fix that. So maybe if I grab on the Y just a tad, tab out. Face L. maybe we'll do one at a time. So I'm going to tab in. I'm going to select this L. And we're going to separate them, right? So this one, if I grab on the Y and pull it out just a little. No, maybe pull it in. So grab on the Y, pull it in, and try that. Okay. Let's see if I can fix this on my own. Because that's kind of what we're looking for here. So here, here, X, edge, select, oops, select that edge. And then, let me see, select that edge, not that one. Select that edge, I think that'll work. F, fill. M by distance. I mean, we're kind of there. A lot of geometry issues here, but let me tell my mom I'm on live really quickly. I'm so hungry, but I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. All right, what can we do here? Hold on, let me rewind. Come on back. All right, I think because, so let me dissolve this edge. Delete this edge, I guess. This is the only thing. Boolean is so destructive. I think there is an add-on Boolean though that could like really work. Because what's happening is because I'm filling it. There's two faces, so I would have to delete all this. Let me see if I could delete this. You can't. Okay. So if I take, let me do vertices. Let me see. So I'm gonna click U and U, and I'll fill U, right? And then maybe, just maybe, but now there's two. So hold on. So now I gotta do vertices. I gotta click this, M, at center. So now that's one vertice. What's going on here? I'm seeing a lot of duplicates here. So that could be a lot of the reason too why that's happening. This is kind of insane. Let's do this, M, center, and we go to edge, because that's an extra edge. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of extra going on here. So what is that little one. You know what I mean? Let me see. All right, let's see where that leaves us. This feels really extra, but let's just see. We got that. See, there's a lot of extra edges right now. X, edge. This is really kind of tedious. Because when I select, okay, so we got that edge. What else can we do? Let's just see where this brings us. So then I got that edge. There's an extra edge there I'm seeing. Nope. Okay, so maybe if I do. I'm not liking it. So this we want, this we do not want. Okay, maybe if I click this face and literally just pull it out even the smallest amount. Like, we can do that. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. It might mess up the texturing though, so that's the only thing that kind of sucks. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That looks crazy. That's not gonna work. I mean, this looks great, but let me see what that looks like. I mean, I could just delete the extra going on. Let me see. Oh. That's me. I love it. Okay. God, what can I do? What could be the... Okay, let's just try this one and see if I can make this a little better. Yeah, Boolean is just so insane, but let me see what we could do here. So we got that, Shift Control B. Difference. Kind of the same situation on this side, huh? But let's see if it's a little cleaner over here. It looks a little cleaner. Let me see if I do edge select, because I'll just, that looks better. Fill that, boom, we're good. Do that. Fill it, can we do it that way? Boom. It's just the overlapping here, but maybe if we select these edges, can we dissolve them and fix it? Because then we'll just have one side showing and not the other. You know what I mean? X, dissolve edges. Yeah, amazing. But let's see. Yeah, okay. Because it's like double the edges. That's what's happening. That's why it's doing that weird glitchy glitch. But if we dissolve the edge, it's not the best way of modeling, but now I'm hungry, so we gotta get to it. I can also fix this at a later time when I'm not on live. these edges, we'll dissolve them. And that'll take care of a lot. And then maybe these edges, we can end at center. Maybe by distance, no. I guess we'll M at center. Let's see what that looks like. It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest. I will say that, but it looks better than this side. But also this side, we would just have to do the same and get rid of the edges, right? So let's just do that and see if I can just stomach what we got going. Right, so let's just get rid of these. I'll probably go in on my own time and like fix it. But you get the gist, right? You get the vibes. You know, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm sure there's a better way. I mean, I know there's a better way, certainly. Just model it completely different, but I think we're at the point where the brain is fried, you know? I've been going for quite some time. So I'm gonna be comfortable with this for now, but rest assured, the final render, I'll fix it. But just to get something so we can start texturing and having fun, I do have these duplicates, so I'll throw these in there. So we'll throw it in the cloud duplicate. That way later I can go work on it. But for now, we'll use this. It doesn't look too bad. I just think when it's time to texture, it'll kind of be weird. But I think all in all, it's cool. Right, and then let's see. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna tab into edit mode. I'm gonna select everything. I'm gonna scale on the Z. Let's grab on the Z, pull it down. And then just to cover everything, we'll scale on the Y. Just so that it's covering the applicator. And I think we're onto something. Let me grab on the Z. It's definitely about here. Let me get a little closer to see. Definitely need to fill the base, and then I could do that, but we'll leave it like that for now. I'm cool with that, right? All right, let's do some texturing. How about that? I feel good about that. So let me save it. We have all the duplicates, so I can go and fix things. No BD. But let's start making it look like a perfume bottle. All right, let's go into shading. Before we do that, let's go ahead and hide that. Shift A. Let's put a plane. This perfume is huge. Tab into edit mode. We'll do S5. Give ourselves a plane. Let's grab on the Z. Put it on the plane. Perfecto. Let's go ahead and add an HDRI. So we got some lighting. Let me find a good one. HDRI. I've been using this one. I like this one a lot. Boom. Let's jump into our shader editor. And let's get it. Hello. Where are we working? Oh, we're loading. There we go. Beautiful. Let's jump out of that mode. Let's add some textures. So excited. All right, cool. So we're gonna just do a glass shader. So Let's just do a new material. We'll probably render this out in cycles because it just looks better in cycles. We go X, Shift A, glass. Very simple. But once you start adding like the colors, everything starts coming together. Instead of doing all that, let's leave that where it is so that I can edit. Where did I do? Downloads. This one. Okay, we're gonna click that. Go ahead. You can go. Go ahead. And then I'll click this. Boom, pink. Let's just amp it up a bit. And I think because we're in Eevee, it's not looking the greatest. So let's go to cycles. And there she is, folks. We pick a lighter pink. There it is. That's better. Same thing. So let me name this. Glass bottle. We'll go ahead and use the same shader for the glass bottle. Yeah, we'll have to go in and fix that a little bit. I'll have to get rid of a lot, but I mean, not bad. Not terrible. We'll do a new material for this. Instead of actually a new material, let's do this. My asset browser, I have so many materials. We'll just use one of these. Let me see. You know, just save us a ton of time. Guess we could use that metallic color. I'm just seeing if I have anything. Okay. I could also just bump up the metallic in a principal BSTF, but I mean, let's just do that, shall we? Let's just do that, and then we'll just bump it up. And then we'll do this sort of gray color. And just kind of make it a little darker. Just so it's giving. Okay, we got metallic. Super behind. Okay, and then this, I don't know why this is, anyway. We'll do a new one and we'll just do clouds. And we'll just give it a little bit. Yeah. I mean, just giving it a little bit of a color. We'll probably have to fix whatever that is. There could be double meshes for that. So whatever that is, we can also fix that. We'll also give this the clouds material as well. I'm wanting this to be a little bit more of a and also the blue one too. That would be cute. But okay, let's just do our pink. And then we might just have to add some more lighting to really get that pink pink that we want. Or even add just a couple layers of pink, because it feels like it's a couple different pinks in one. Also, my HDRI could be changing the hue of it for sure. Okay, I'll do something like that, but then let me pull it up. Okay, I'll leave it there, I suppose. And then we would just get our, let me see why this would maybe be doing that. Yeah, I think it's probably double vertices up. That kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. I wonder how I could fix that in particular for it to not be. Oh, also, let's go GPU. Denoise. Let me see if I select. No. Let me just see if I just select that X. Yeah, I'd have to go in and figure out how to like fix that. Cause it's looking like we got double. Or you know what? Let me see. If I go in here, not in X-ray mode, and just these front faces. I wonder if I am my distance, if that changes anything. Center. So I do the whole thing. Okay, yeah, there's got to be a way that I could go in and fix that, and I'll do that. Because it just seems like it's those two. So there's something going on there that I'm not recognizing. There could be a duplicate that I didn't know about, and I accidentally combined it that way. So we'll deal with that when the time comes. Let me just make sure. Okay, the applicator looks pretty good. All right, and then lastly, just to put the icing on the cake, wow, that really bums me out because it looks great, you know. Let's just put the name, the Ariana Grande there, and then we'll go from there, yeah? So we're gonna make that. That's gonna be pretty easy, pretty quick. So let's just jump into maybe this one. I'm gonna Shift A, and I think I actually have the Ariana Grande text that she uses for her perfumes somewhere in my computer. So when I have, you know, more time and I could just kind of do this less, you know, a little bit less stressed. I think it's all capitals. For now, we'll just, you know, placeholders. So it'll be something like that. Because this font, or I can go on the font and find one. I don't have a font like this, so I'll have to go on and find that anyway. But for now, it's just a placeholder. So we'll just keep it like this. And then we'll do this. Let's rotate on the X 90. Boom. Let's jump out of isolation mode. This is just round one, you know what I mean? But I think I also really enjoy going to find the actual font for the perfume. That's really fun for me as well. Although I learned from my Christian Siriano perfume render that I did, some companies and brands actually lock the font and you're unable to search it. it's copywritten. So the Christian Siriano, I was not able to find out what font it was. Ariana Grande doesn't have that limitation on at least the Thank You Next font. I was able to find that no problem. But yeah, a lot of companies and brands don't like that. So I kind of just make do with what I can. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting when I was just like kind of doing a deep dive, trying to figure out what font Christian Siriano uses. It was interesting. But it was cool. It was really cool. I was like, it's so exclusive. Okay. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just shift, convert to a mesh. I'm going to tab in, select everything, E on the Y. Again, this is literally just a placeholder, so it's fine. Just make sure this is not at all how it is on the bottle at all. It's more of like a shrink wrapped. It's not like a engraving or anything, but for our purposes, we will do it this way, just so we can it'll look a bit more complete. But like I mentioned, I'll go in and fix it. But I just wanted I want to have a complete, project at the minimum with this. So let's just go ahead and add this, and we'll just use a metallic because it is kind of that same texture. Unfortunately, because that's kind of gray, it looks a little weird. So let me just scale it down a bit, just so we can see it a little bit better. Very sad about that doubling up of the meshes. That sucks. And let's put our cap back on. And the letters are a little bit darker though, so we'll have to do a new one. And I'll just make it darker. A darker metallic, yeah. Here we go. Pull it over a little bit. I'm gonna grab on the Y and pull it in, even just a little. Let's see if that works. Sorry, my computer takes so long to denoise. Just pull it. I could shrink wrap it, but it's just a placeholder, so it's fine. I mean, all in all, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Great start. Definitely have to do a little bit of fixes, but I don't hate it by any means. And even this, there's clearly some double vertices because there's a hard line. Not great. The base, we'll have to join it, so there's that. But let's just look at this. Let's just give this a once over, because I feel proud of this nonetheless. You know what I mean? Let's just take a good look at this and kind of compare it. Pull this down. Okay. Here's what I'm seeing. Where we could fix. I'll find the appropriate font, because you can see it has like that fun bubble font. So I'll find that font. We got some double vertices here. The base and the clouds. I could fix it. I could go in and just close that base vertice and make it look a little bit more not as broken up. Get rid of some extra vertices here. Fix the top, but for the most part, the idea was there. Like, this one looks pretty good if we could just get that across the board. If we hide the top, I like the way this is giving. We also forgot the straw that pulls the perfume up so that it sprays, so I can add that quickly. I want to do a fluid simulation, so I'll add a cute little fluid simulation to it. And then I also want to do the blue one, the blue matching perfume. But I think for today's live, I don't hate it, you know. Where is there room for improvement? There's room, for sure. But considering I haven't done a perfume in a little bit, I love it. I'm proud of it. And I definitely can see this being a really nice render when it's all said and done. I also would probably add a few more lights to really get that see-through vibes and kind of the gradient. So I could even go as far as making this glass BSCF a gradient. So I could add some more colors and really just amp up that portion of it. But all in all, I like this. I think this is a great first step. And how long did this take us? An entire perfume, 2 hours and 18 minutes. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I'm not mad at it. I feel very successful with this. Definitely have to fix the base of this, but I'll completely redo the top. So I think that's what I'll do. And if anything, you know, this is always available in live to see, and then I'll record myself fixing it and perfecting it, finishing it completely. I don't know why it's not at GPU. Fixing it completely, and then doing a little fluid simulation, which I haven't done in so long. So I'm gonna do that too. So, you know, all in all, I really love these. I love doing perfume renders, and I really think I can elevate in this to a way that it looks really good. So I hope it was fun for you, and I wish I had the energy in me to keep going, because I would go for a legit another hour, but I'm so hungry and I need to take my pup out for a walk. So I think I'm gonna leave the live here, and then I'll just kind of work on this at my own time. Who knows? I might jump back on and finish it later. I'll see how I'm feeling. But I'm glad I got to come on live today. Thank y'all for joining me. It was so fun. I really enjoyed it. And you know, hopefully we can keep doing these. This is my favorite. This is my favorite thing to do. So maybe I'll just stick with this for a while and just work on my little short film and everything else in the background and all its frustration. Somebody's car alarm's going off. But yeah, I hope y'all had a great time watching. I hope it brought you some kind of like calm. I hope maybe you learned something. I hope you learned something. The one thing I'd like to say is like it's trial and error, and it doesn't always come out perfect, but I started with a cube, so I don't hate it. I don't hate it one bit. And the fixes aren't super crazy fixes. I could redo this. I have duplicates. So that I think that's probably the biggest key, I would say, when you're working on something. Always have backup, always have duplicates. Even go up here and duplicate the scene so that if you have to fix things, you can easily. So I have my little cloud duplicate, so everything is separate and duplicated, so I'm not worried about fixing it. But yeah, that's it. I'll stop yapping now. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is where you are. Happy Thanksgiving week, and I'll catch y'all next week. Maybe next week. I'm flying home on Friday, so I might not be able to go live, but maybe I can. My brother's really into Blender as well, so maybe we could do a live together. That could be really fun. He's currently working on a short film as well, so we have yet to work in Blender together, so that could be actually really fun. So I'll keep y'all posted. I do have my Discord, so if you want to know what I'm going to be doing next week, jump into the Discord. Same name as here. Also, the link is on my YouTube. Thank you to my new subscriber. We're at 301. Yay. I'm so happy about that. And that's it. I had a great time. Thank y'all for joining me. And I'll catch you soon. Keep you posted in the Discord. Bye, everybody.